How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk about stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. I also want to put in the disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor and this isn't financial advice. So just make sure when you do invest, you're doing it at your own risk. So what is the agenda going to be today? As you can see from the title, we're going to be talking about ChargePoint. So the first thing that we're going to be going over is Biden's plans in regards to charging stations and how much money he's willing to actually put into it. He made this update back on the 22nd and I want to share it with you guys. Then after that, we're going to be doing a technical analysis for ChargePoint. I want to make sure you guys are not overpaying for the stock, and I want you to know the areas in regard to getting a discount or a great price, whether you're looking at it for short-term gains or you're looking at it for long-term gains. Then after that, we're going to be going over the institutional ownership and as well as the short interest as well. I feel this is key for you to know as a shareholder because you want to know what the institutions are doing. And then after that, I will be giving you guys my final thoughts, and we'll also be doing an update in regards to what do the analysts see in regards to price targets. Like I said in all my videos, I make sure I give you guys a lot of value because I want to make sure that you guys get the right due diligence and the right homework done when you come to this channel. So let's go over Biden's plan. Biden wants $15 billion for EV charging stations climate update. No nation can solve this crisis on our own, Biden said Thursday from the White House at the opening of the event. All of us, in particular those of us who represent the world's largest economies, we have to step up. Here are some highlights. Biden seeks $15 billion for EV charging stations. The Biden administration proposed Thursday spending $15 billion to install 500,000 electric vehicle charging stations along roads, parking lots, and apartment buildings as a part of its infrastructure plan now before Congress. And why is this big? ChargePoint is a charging station company. So the fact that they're in the EV space, they are going to be able to benefit from this. Let's continue. Some of the money would go towards grants and incentive programs for state and local governments, as well as private companies to install the chargers, according to a fact sheet from the White House that spelled out the program in detail. But $10 million would be devoted to research into ways to lower the cost of chargers themselves, while $20 million would go to community projects, like switching to electric school buses that can pave the way to wider deployment. Why this is huge? ChargePoint spends money doing research and development. So what does this mean? The government can actually help with that, ease the cost of that. So that is a plus for ChargePoint. And what we do know for sure, by offering grants to state and local governments, it makes adoption even easier. Let's continue. The Transportation Department also issued guidance showing how nearly $42 billion of existing federal financing programs could be used for EV charging infrastructure. There's more to this article. I will be putting a link inside the description, but just reading this and seeing the ambitions that Joe Biden has for this plan, this is huge, and a lot of EV plays are going to benefit from this. But I do want to make sure that you guys are aware of the potential that is in ChargePoint. We could also see Tesla benefiting from this. We have other EVs in this particular space, but do keep in mind, you don't need to be investing in 5 to 10 different stocks in the EV space. You take the 1 or 2 top dogs. In this case, we look at ChargePoint. Hey, that's our number 1 for chargers. And if you want to take a look at Tesla, or you can also take a look at Lucid, CCIV, it is up to you, but me personally, I have more interest in Tesla and I'm also invested in them as well. So with Tesla and as well as ChargePoint will benefit the most from this. So let's get into the other segments of this video, and then I'll be giving the analyst upgrades and as well as my final thoughts afterwards. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for ChargePoint. So let's take a look at how it performed on Friday. So it ended up closing the day at $24.38, being up 10.47% on the day. We take a look at the ranges. On the low, it tested $22.50, and on the high, tested $24.55. So right away, when we take a look at this chart, Automatic buying opportunity for ChargePoint, whether you're looking at this long term or you're doing a swing trade, is right here at this $20 level. We see how well it's tested this area and has done a great rebound off of it. If it ends up breaking this $20 level, anywhere below that is definitely a buying opportunity. You could also see this down here from the RSI, right where we want it, right below 30. So we're getting this stock at a really good deal. The prior run-up that ended up happening when that announcement in regards to the infrastructure plan came out, it ended up reaching this area of resistance at $32.51. So just taking that into consideration, if we get more news going forward or more details, that's definitely some short-term upside to actually look out for. If it ended up passing this particular area, especially right here at this $30 level, you'll get that test of $32.50, and if it passes that, you can see that test, yes, you see it correctly, going to $35. But if the stock does pull back, it does present an opportunity. Even if we go back over here in December, where it ended up actually having its 52-week high, where it tested $49.48, so just under $50. Will it be able to retest this area before the end of the year? This is possible, but I would see that the stock would pull back. Could it get to this particular area in the next 2 years? Most definitely. But hey, I'm going to be holding this long term for at least 5 to 10 years. I just want to make sure you guys are aware of that. So the next thing that we want to take a look at, I know many of you are saying, so what if I want to buy next week, right? Like, what is a good price? So from what I'm looking at right now from the 21-day EMA, that $22.60 level, that $22.50 level where it tested on Friday, that would be an area to actually keep an eye on. And the reason why to keep an eye on, if that area does end up breaking right around here, this $22.50, we could definitely end up seeing a retracement and testing over here around $21. So that is also a good area to add if you're looking at ChargePoint long term or even a swing trade opportunity to trade off the fluctuations. That also would tell us that the trend is breaking. So once this trend breaks, so if it breaks right through that 21-day, then there could be some downward pressure where you can take advantage of those previous support levels like we talked about previously. But for now, from what I'm seeing, we definitely just have to just get past this area of resistance right here around this $24.50 level. And once we do, which can definitely happen sometime next week or before the end of the month, we'll be testing here around $27.50 level. So I just want to make sure you guys are aware of that, so you know the prices that you need, and to know whether you're getting it at a reasonable price, you're getting it at a cheap price, or whether you're going to be paying a premium. And considering where it's at currently right now at $24.38, you're paying a little bit of a premium. But again, this is only a premium if you're looking at some short-term gains here. Because if you take a look at the RSI over here, it is around 60. So it is 10 points above 50, which is considered in the middle as fair value, while 70 is pretty much considered as overbought. It is expensive. So the fact that it's right at 60, it's fairly close to that 70 mark. But again, this will not be an issue if you're looking at it long term. But I myself, I like to get them at a good price, so wait for that pullback. So we're now on Fintel.io, and we're going to be taking a look at the institutional ownership and as well as the short interest information for ChargePoint. So when we see the institutional owners, there's a total of 18, and as we scroll down on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So from what I'm seeing, it definitely does look like institutions are showing interest in ChargePoint. We go back here on the date of April the 6th going up to April the 23rd, we've seen numerous amounts of open positions. So taking this into consideration and seeing Friday alone, we have 5 institutions that actually built out their positions in ChargePoint is something that is really good to see and shows a bullish sign. Now, let's take a look at the short interest info. So the short volume ratio is right here at 31%. So we know anything above 21% definitely comes with some short squeeze potential. So what does this mean? So out of 8.8 million shares that were traded on Friday, 2.7 million of those shares were shorted. So that is very, very significant, and it's something that I want you guys to understand and be aware of. If we take a look at the previous history of the short volume ratio, here at 31.05, aside from seeing it at 31.65 back here on April the 22nd. We are definitely at some all-time highs in regards to as of late from April the 12th. So what I'll be looking for is keeping an eye on any pullbacks, and if there is a move to the upside, be prepared because it's going to be significant. So before we get into the final thoughts, here's some quick facts that I want you guys to know about ChargePoint. The first thing that we know, they have 70% of the overall market share, and they have a total of over 12,000 charging stations. So when it comes to this Biden plan, this is why I see so much upside, and I have a lot of conviction for this company. Now, let's get into those analyst upgrades that we were talking about previously that we're going to be covering. So we can see for ChargePoint, the price target is at $39. And we also have a total based on 4 analysts. And what the ranges are, on the low, it is at $28. And in the medium, it is at $39. And on the high, at $46, and that's what gives us this $39 average. We've already seen in the technical analysis portion, ChargePoint was able to just get under 50 bucks. So just seeing that potential type of an upside, it looks really good, and it's part of the reasons why I know for a fact, I know nothing in life is actually guaranteed, but I know it will revisit those previous highs. If it doesn't happen near the end of this year, then it'll be sometime next year. But at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter because I do look at holding ChargePoint for a long time. And I'm talking about 10, 15 years and so forth, because I do believe in the long-term prospects of the company. So if you are considering to actually have a position in ChargePoint, watch the technical analysis portion so you know, hey, where's the good price to actually get it at. One thing to also be aware of, institutions are also bullish on ChargePoint as well. So when we take all of these catalysts and we also see the fact that, hey, climate change is a big issue and it's something that needs to be tackled right away. And it's one of Biden's big time priorities. So taking all of this into consideration, I want you to see the great opportunity that lies here. Like I talk about in all my other videos, when it comes to your portfolio, you should not be filling them up with penny stocks alone. You're exposing yourself to a lot of volatility, and you already seen, especially with the conditions we've been seeing inside the market, it could definitely be impacted. And you also got to make sure of the fact in regards to their potential and whether the market actually sees it. So making sure you have quality stocks, the majority of your portfolio has quality stocks in it, is very, very key. And also focus on the big players if you can. We already know ChargePoint is a big player in this EV space. We also know that Tesla is a big time player in the EV space as well. Because 5 to 10 to 15 years from now, I want you to ask yourself this question. We have all of these stocks in the EV sector, right? Which companies do you believe are still going to be around 5 to 10 to 15 years from now? Figure that out right away and concentrate your focus on maybe no more than 3 stocks. If you want to buy even more, it is up to you. But I do like having concentration over diversification in your portfolio. So you shouldn't be having a ton of stocks in your portfolio, but there's nothing wrong with having a little bit of diversity by making sure you have the leading players in each of those sectors. So that'll kind of minimize the amount of stocks you're actually holding and also maximize your overall return. Just a little bit of a golden nugget that I wanted to share with you guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll be talking real soon.